Good morning, students. In this lecture series of hydraulics engineering, hydraulics first. Uh, in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the flow net. In fluid kinematics, we are already discussed about the velocity, potential, and stream function. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the concept of flow net. What do you know about flow net? What are the applications and what are the properties of flow nets? We are going to discuss in this lecture. Okay, so let's start with the flow net. How can you define flow net? A flow net is a graphical representation of flow of water through a soil mass. It is a it is a curvilinear net formed by the combination of flow lines and equipotential lines. Properties and applications of flow net are explained in this article. Okay, so a flow net is nothing but a graphical representation of flow of water through a soil mass. Okay, flow lines represent the path of flow along which the water will seep through the soil. Equipotential lines are formed by connecting the points of equal total head. Okay, that means flow lines represents the path of flow along which the water will seep through the soil. You can see the diagram of flow net. In this, concrete dam has shown, the water has been shown, the height of dam has been shown. Okay, so the flow lines has been shown, equipotential lines, the soil has been shown, and the impervious strata has been shown. Okay, the flow lines are perpendicular to the equipotential lines. Then what are the properties of flow net? Okay, so we are discussing about the properties of flow net. First, the angle of intersection between each flow line and equipotential line must be 90 degree, which means they should be orthogonal to each other. That means they are perpendicular to each other. Angle of intersection between each flow line and equipotential line must be 90 degree, which means they should be perpendicular to each other. Second, two flow lines or two equipotential lines can never cross each other. Two flow lines or two equipotential lines never cross each other. Third, equal quantity of seepage occurs in each flow channel. A flow channel is a space between two flow lines. Head loss is the same between two adjacent potential lines. Then next properties, flow nets are drawn based on the boundary conditions only. They are independent of the permeability of soil and the head causing flow. Next, the space formed between two flow lines and two equipotential lines is called a flow field. You can see in the details uh, in the image which is already seen by us. It should be in a square form. Okay, either flow lines or equipotential lines are smoothly drawn curves. These are the properties of flow nets. Then we are going to discuss about the applications of flow net, where we apply or applicable the flow nets. Okay, flow net is useful to determine the following parameters in seepage analysis of soil. There are four types: rate of seepage loss, seepage pressure, uplift pressure, and exit gradient. Flow net is useful to determine the following parameters in seepage analysis of soil. So let's start with the first, seepage rate of seepage loss, that is Q. Okay, so rate of seepage loss, that is Q. Using flow net, The rate of seepage loss or seepage quantity can be determined using the below expression, that is Q is equal to K into H into NF divided by ND dot delta B divided by delta L, where K is equal to coefficient of permeability, capital H is equal to head causing flow, NF is equal to number of flow lines, ND is equal to number of equipotential lines, then delta B is equal to width of flow field, and delta L is equal to length of flow field. This is the first. Second, seepage pressure, that is PS. Seepage pressure at any point is determined by using the below mentioned formula, that is PS is equal to YW dot H, where YW is equal to unit weight of water. H is equal to hydraulic potential after N potential drops. It can be expressed as small h is equal to capital H minus N dot delta H, where delta H is equal to capital H divided by ND, where delta H is equal to potential drop or drop in head between two adjacent potential equipotential lines. Okay. Then uplift pressure, that is PU. Okay. So the uplift pressure at any point within the soil mass can be found using the under mentioned formula. It is also called as hydrostatic pressure, that is Pu is equal to YW dot HW, where YW is equal to unit weight of water, HW is equal to piezometric head or pressure head, which is equal to total head minus elevation head. Okay, so HW is equal to H plus minus Z. This is the uplift pressure Pu. And then last, exit gradient. Exit gradient, that is I exit. The exit gradient is the hydraulic gradient at the downstream end of flow line where seepage water from the soil mass joins with free water at the downstream. Exit gradient can be expressed as I exit is equal to delta H divided by delta L, where delta H is equal to length of the flow field and delta L is equal to potential drop. Okay, so thank you very much. In this lecture we studied about the flow net, its properties and the applications of flow net. Thus we have completed our third chapter, that is fluid kinematics, and we are going to start laminar flow and turbulent flow, that is fourth chapter, from the next lecture. Okay, thank you very much.